Do
to the
I
NBA.
feel that there's a woman that could be successful in the NBA? That's the question.
Yeah, as a head coach.
As a head coach, I don't think it's impossible. Coaching at the end of the day is about people, and it's possible that there's a woman that could, strike the right chords. I mean, I voted for a female for president twice now. I'm not against women being in positions of power. I don't, it doesn't bother me at all. But there are like some realistic challenges in the sense that like the NBA game and coaching dudes is a different animal. And so Becky Hammon had the benefit of being in the NBA game and all of that. When you're head coach, you make all the arrangements. Like, I mean, you dictate everything. Traveling 82, playing 82 games. It's not playing 35 or 40 in college. There's different stuff.
Dawn Staley yesterday, okay, they were asking her about the New York Knicks and because she interviewed for the New York Knicks job, if you can remember.
I didn't, but
I know.
she actually had an interview. It wasn't just her name didn't just
No, it
come
wasn't
up
just
in
for
the
show.
hunt.
No,
Okay.
she actually had an interview. And she said she does not expect a female coach in the NBA in her lifetime.
Her lifetime.
Yeah. That graphic there said anytime soon.
So that gives you a little insight into how that interview went. No,
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course she said all the right things.
No, you
about,
can't. But you can't separate the two.
Yeah.
Again, this is not just my name came up. This is I interviewed
Yeah.
for an NBA head coaching job.
Yeah.
And based on my life experience, which now includes that interview, I'm telling you, a woman is not going to be an NBA head coach in my lifetime. Yeah. That's a huge statement.
That's why I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, that is huge. But again, I think it's directly connected to that Knicks interview.
Okay. I didn't connect it, but I can see that.
And not from her, but from how she was treated or interacted with.
Yeah.
There's something that went down there that kind of said like, hey, this is a token interview. They want to kick the tires and get a little headline out of this, but they're not serious.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, if they were serious, if she left that interview thinking I got a real shot, I think I got this.
She wouldn't say that.
She wouldn't be saying this.
And also because when I saw this and I was doing some reading and I remembered Becky Hammon because they talked about her in that article.
Yeah.
And it was like we all thought, and it's just how they said in the article, that Becky Hammon was going to be the first one or the first one up. And then somewhere in the mix, she just got lost in the traction. And maybe was because Greg Popovich got sick. Maybe he was her only advocator.
Yeah.
Because he's literally the one that hired her and put on the staff.
Sure.
And then once he kind of got sick, her status and everything just got muddied, and she just, whatever. And so she's not in line to be the Spurs coach, even if Greg leaves.
Where is she even coaching right now?
See, I'm not even sure. I didn't look that up. They said it in the article, but yeah. So they thought she was going to be the one, and then there just hasn't been a ton of other traction elsewhere. And
those are the two. Those are the two big ones.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Dawn Staley's been great in college basketball. She's at an age where it would kind of make sense for that to do. Like the LSU ladies have been successful, but she's pretty old.
Yeah.
So like I think Staley, is kind of that one. And then, I mean, Gino's the other guy that wins a lot, but he's old and he's been, he's
yeah. And you're just saying that's just coming from a woman's game to the NBA.
And then Hammond was the one that was in the league.
Yeah.
And had a great, benefactor and supporter in Pop. And so those were the two. And if both of those are kind of dead ends, what is the, and I think this is probably what Dawn's thinking is like, what is the situation to give rise to the next one of them?
Yeah.
And then how far off are you?
Do you, how like, I know it's an impossible question to ask, but how successful you think they could be? How does that translate? Like, is there something there to where you could, Don, you think could come over to the NBA?
Do I feel that there's a woman that could be successful in the NBA? That's the question.
Yeah, as a head coach.
As a head coach. I don't think it's impossible. Coaching at the end of the day is about people. And it's possible that there's a woman that could, strike the right chords. I mean, I voted for a female for president twice now. I'm not against women being in positions of power. It doesn't bother me at all. But there are like some realistic challenges in the sense that like the NBA game and coaching dudes is a different animal. And so Becky Hammon had the benefit of being in the NBA game and all of that. When you're head coach, you make all the arrangements. Like, I mean, you dictate everything. Traveling 82, playing 82 games. It's not playing 35 or 40 in college. There's different stuff. I remember hearing a story years ago when Larry Bird was going to become the Pacers coach. Like, the guys that interviewed him were like, oh, yeah, we know Larry Bird's a great player. But what blew them away in the interview was that he had regimented out everything. Like travel schedules, practice schedules, everything, because he knew what he wanted, and he was serious enough about the job that he did that and put it together for the interview. And I'm not saying that somebody's incapable, but somebody coming from the college game, and most men who coached in the men's college game who've gone to the NBA have struggled significantly.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a big leap there for Dawn Staley. And she's really, in terms of age, pedigree, success, she's the prime person right now.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to imagine, like, down the line, somebody comes. I mean, it will happen, but somebody with more pedigree. It'll take some time.
It takes time. She's taken time to build what she's built.
Yeah.
There's nobody immediately behind her.
No.
Her biggest competitor is Gino.
Yeah.
And he's at the tail end of this, and he's a guy. Not that makes him better, but that's who's in the women's game at the top of the food chain. So that matters. And then it's like, Becky Hammon had the other out. She was in the NBA game. Again, if she still is, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But she had the benefit of that and knowing how, high-level teams handle that stuff.
Yeah.
And, so she kind of had an inside track. But again, when is the next woman who's going to be an assistant coach, who's going to be kind of elevated and promoted and given the opportunities internally to become a head coaching candidate?
Becky is head coach of the Las Vegas Aces WNBA.
So they've won championships now, right?
Does that reflect poorly on us?
Maybe you. I don't profess to pay attention.
I try to drag you in there. I did not know that. How did I not know that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess maybe she's still... she's succeeding in the WNBA championship level, so maybe she still is something of a candidate.
Yeah.
So maybe not as far away as we thought.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those perceptual things though, that when you're in the NBA grind and you're the assistant and you're doing that, and it's like, okay, well now I'm going to take a head job in the WNBA. Like, there's a part of it that's like, oh, you're just kind of going back to the way, like, where you're comfortable with, and you're not continuing to push yourself. There's going to be people that believe that.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's 100% the truth. You can take alternative routes. I mean, like, let's just look at college football real quick. Like Kirk Cincinnati, the Indiana coach, he left Alabama as an assistant, took a D2 football job, grinded, and now he's, the hottest name in coaching at this point in the Big Ten. So you can take these alternative paths, and if you're good enough and willful enough, you can maybe get there. But I would say, like, she'd probably be better positioned as a high-level NBA assistant to get a head job in the league than to be the WNBA head coach. But,
that's fair.
She could spin the narrative and say, hey, I was an assistant in the NBA for a while. I needed to go to a place where I'm making all the calls.
Get some head coaching experience.
Yeah, I'm doing that. So you don't have that to say against me.
Yeah.
And this is where opportunity presented, and I've maximized it because I've won a championship. And now, hey, I'm ready to do this wherever.
No, facts.